This is the video lesson for section 7.5, which is called Proportions in Triangles. So we have two objectives here. The first one is talking about the Sidesplitter Theorem, and the second one is talking about the triangle angle bisector theorem. And we're going to use each of these to determine lengths of segments within a given triangle. So the first theorem is called the Sidesplitter Theorem, and what it says is if I have this triangle and I draw a line that is parallel to one of the sides of the triangle, so like right here, this is parallel to this bottom side xy, and if it intersects the other two sides, right here at R and S, I know it divides those sides proportionally. So given these two parallel lines here, I know that I have this proportion that I can set up, this pattern. So XR over RQ is equal to YS over SQ. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use this Sidesplitter theorem in order to actually solve for the variable x. So I need to use my pattern. So let's see, we've got in this first picture x plus 1 over 12 is equal to x over 9. And then I can go ahead through and I can cross multiply. And when I do that, I get 9 times x plus 1 equals x times 12. Oh, and I'm just going to write 12x because I can do that in my head real fast. 12x. Okay, so let's bring this up here and we have to distribute our 9 into our parentheses. So we get 9x plus 9 equals 12x. I'm going to move my 9x to the other side. I get 9 equals 3x. Divide by 3. My final answer is x equals 3. So I found the value of x for this picture here. So you go ahead, you've got this you-try problem to do. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move on to a corollary. It's the corollary to the Sidesplitter theorem. So it has to do with the same types of things. What it says is if I have these three parallel lines and they're intersecting two other lines, I know that I'm going to have certain proportions. So namely this one right here. AB to BC equals WX to XY. And you can see that that's very similar to the triangle that we just had. It's the same type of idea. This piece over this piece equals this piece over this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and look at this first example. It's talking about this word problem where I have a campsite. The first thing I need to do is I need to figure out what I'm actually being asked. So the problem says 3 campsites are shown in the diagram. What is the length of site A along the river? Okay, so I see basically what they want to know is the value of x, if that's x right there. They want to know x. So I need to set up a proportion. If I kind of turn my head, I see that I have 3 parallel lines intersecting 2 others, which means I can set up a proportion. I can say x over 8 equals 9 over 7.2. And I'm just going to cross multiply that, which gives me 7.2x equals 72. I divide by 7.2, and I get x equals 10. So that is my answer to that question. There's also a you-try problem down here. See it down here in the corner? So please make sure that you do that problem. Okay, so we've got one more thing we have to talk about, and that's Theorem 7.5, which is called the triangle angle bisector theorem. So obviously I'm going to be talking about an angle bisector. It says if a ray bisects an angle of a triangle. So here I have a ray, and it has bisected A, cutting it into 2 congruent pieces. Then what's true about it is that that opposite side is going to be divided in a proportionate way. The proportion that's going to be set up is this side here over this side here equals this side over this side. So here, you need to write this down, have this picture with this little pattern. So I have divided side over the actual side of the triangle that touches that divided side. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to complete this example here. I'm going to use that same pattern. This is something that we're just going to have to kind of memorize. So in this picture, I see that I have my triangle. I see that I have this angle bisector here. So what I know is 18 over 10 is equal to x over 12. So again, I cross multiply. Getting pretty good at all this stuff. We get 10x equals 216. I divide my 10, and I end up with x equals 21.6. All right, so then you have this U-try. Make sure that you just have this pattern and follow that pattern to complete this U-try here.